got Oreo here, who will be helping out with my trades. And let's get to the SuperCoach app, probably a good way to start. There it is. And I had a pretty good round last week. Oh, by the way, if you haven't already, please do make sure to subscribe. I know this is live at the moment. You're probably going to be watching this on YouTube, considering most of Australia, it's 6:23, and it was on Twitch at 6:23 a.m. Anyway, I had a pretty good round last week. I was pretty happy with my result. It's the first good round that I've had. I have been absolutely destroyed in SuperCoach this year. I don't know what's happened. Last year, the last couple of years, I don't think I had a round below 2,000 points. This year, wow, it's hit me hard. But despite the Ridley missing out, I did still have a pretty good score of about just below 2,300. So I'm pretty happy with that. Stewart dominated. Obviously Ridley didn't. He was the big gun recruit that I brought in last week. This is live. It is live. He was the big gun recruit that I brought in last week. Paid a premium price for him, and of course he gets concussed in the first quarter. Scores poorly and reduces in value, and then cannot play this week as well. So my luck. That's pretty much sums up my 2021 SuperCoach season thus far. Oreo, don't be rude. Yes, I know I'm not having a good year, whatever. Anyway, the 31 points was not great, but I'm just going to hold him. I don't know why everyone's panicking online, saying that they're going to, should we trade him or anything? Trading him would be ridiculous, especially if you've taken a loss. He's going to come back. He's going to come back, and he's going to come back fit, firing. So, nah, I think I'll just hold on to him for a little while. I'm probably just going to put Cozzy, who actually played okay. He's gone up in value a little bit as well. He actually played okay, so I'm just going to put Cozzy onto the field. Obviously teams aren't announced, but he played well, so I doubt that he'll be dropped this week. So it'd be good to, I'll just start him. Or Highmore. If Highmore plays, which he hasn't in a while, since round 2, I'll probably actually go with a Highmore instead, but Cozzy would most likely be the one that I bring in. Stewart, wow, had an amazing game. Short was a bit low compared to usual. He was a bit down. I wouldn't be surprised if he bounces back against Melbourne. No real issue there. Hunter Clark played well. Giat did not have a great game, but he's still going up in value, so I'm taking it. Jones, he was the other recruit that I had brought in. So I brought in Ridley and Jones. Jones, 69. Look, for a second gamer, it's not too bad. He's obviously quite cheap. He'll go up in value from that, as long as he keeps getting better. If he could start pushing into the mid-70s at that price, that's definitely worth my time. Bontempelli played a good game, still went down in value. Merritt had a good game. Boak had a good game. Martin, a bit low. I mean, it would have been nice to see Martin get into the hundreds, but I wouldn't be surprised if his 250th game against Melbourne this week, he has an absolutely amazing game. So who knows? I'm probably going to keep him as my VC just because I think that will work out. I haven't actually. What are the rounds like this week? Hang on, let's take a look. AFL matches. Okay, that's round 5, round 6. So he's playing on the Saturday night, and Collingwood's playing on the Sunday. So it's because I want to have Grundy as my captain, most likely. What I'll do is I'll keep Martin as vice captain, and if he dominates like I think he might, then I'll do something, make some changes, and make sure that I get his score as captaincy instead. Brayshaw finally bounced back after a couple of really shit games. Goulden, 66, not amazing, still going up in value, but you know, for someone that's starting on my field, not the best. Jay Clark didn't play, he was dropped. I got Scott's score of 61. Actually, it was actually decent for Scott considering he's been a bit meh at times, but you know, I'll take it. I think this week Jay Clark is on the way out for me. I just feel as if he's the type of player that, I don't know, he just hasn't had the best season. I mean, he's been impressive in the first 4 games, but being dropped for round 5, he'll have to work to get back into Geelong's team. Powell, he's been pretty good. the last couple of games especially. Going up in value, he's going to stay in my starting lineup. Obviously, Paddy Dow, Brockman didn't play. Man, I want to get rid of Paddy Dow, but I've made barely anything on him, and there's just not much that I can trade him for at the moment. I'm hoping he can get back into Carlton's side. I was about to say Collingwood side, Carlton's side, and then actually go up in value of some sort. Hopefully. So I think I'll hold on to him for a little bit longer. Not because I'm hopeful, because I don't have many other options. All right, you think I should put Dow as captain? Maybe. If he doesn't play, I'll definitely put him as captain. And Martin, obviously, the whole Martin switch to VC. That whole move will work out if he plays. If he doesn't play, actually. Grundy, I'm not going to complain about that. That's fantastic. Paul Hunter had to be put into the team because, well, Flynn didn't play again. Hopefully Flynn's back in the team, because I really don't want to go out there with Paul Hunter again. Plus, I have a feeling that Paul Hunter will probably get dropped this week. I mean, he played okay. He was definitely his best game thus far out of the 3 that he's played. And he's finally gone up in value, which was something that I was complaining about last week. But still not ideal. What have you found, Aria? Keep pulling. Probably some sort of food. Josh Dunkley, far out. Maybe I should put him as captain. He's been amazing. But then Zeeble, underneath, has been an absolute steal this year. I think he started about 270 grand, and he's gone up 200k this year, roughly. That is fantastic. All right, let's go this way. That is fantastic. Zorko 101, he's been up and down. Scores great one week, scores terrible the next. Hopefully that can change, because Zorko is a really good player. I'm going to hold on to him. I'm pretty happy with him. I just hope when it comes to finals that the games that he plays well are in finals. Stevenson, I think he's another player that I'm thinking of getting rid of. I mean, he's been up and down as well. He obviously had a really great round 1. Let's take a look at his stats. Yeah, he had a really great round 1, 112 points, 40, pretty shit. 89 and 80 was okay, 73. I mean, they're okay scores. They're not amazing scores, but they're okay. I'm thinking of trading out potentially Jake Clark this week and Campbell, but I'll get to that in a sec. Joe Danaher obviously had an amazing game. Best game of the season thus far. Best game he's played in a while, actually. Quite a while. Mostly because he's been injured for most of the last few years anyway. But he's played really well last week against his old team. Hopefully he can keep it up. I'm going to hold on to him for a little bit longer. I'm hoping that he can near around 400k, and then I'll probably trade him after that. Rao, his score of 79 was really good. I should probably put him back in the team. It's been a while since I've had him in the team, because he had 2 really shocking performances, and of course that's when he was starting in my lineup, so I thought leave him on the bench. But he had a pretty good game. My score would have been higher if I put him in the team instead of Campbell, but let's be honest, he hasn't had the best season. I'll just get it with stats. Obviously his round 1 was amazing, but then he followed it up with a 19. That was shit. He was at -4 for like the first half of the game. Gold Coast, he played alright, 40, 67, then 79. He's gone back up, which is good. He's only increased in value, he hasn't decreased. He'll probably continue to increase in value. He'll probably get into the early 3s at the least by the end of the year. So, you know, he's a player that I'm going to be holding on to. He might even start this week on the field, depending on who I bring in. Waterman went up in value. I'm just going to leave him as a bench player. I paid nothing for him. He's playing for Essendon, who aren't great. He's kicking goals. Look, he's not a big SuperCoach scorer, but he's actually playing well in the Essendon side. So that means he's going to keep getting game. And because he's going to keep getting game, it means that he's going to be the perfect emergency just in case there's, people that pull out late of the games and I need an emergency to actually play this so I don't score a 0. He's kind of my scapegoat for that. So I'm just going to keep him there as my scapegoat. Now, going back to Campbell, I think, now I wrote something about this on my blog, nerdsforlife.com. That's nerds for life, but like the number 4 and then life.com. I'll put a link in the description below as well. Now, Braden Campbell, he had obviously an amazing round 2 with 118 points. His 56 on debut wasn't too bad either, but then followed it up with a 29 against Richmond, a 51 and a 39. These are shit. He's actually gone down in value by 14k, which is not great considering he's only played 5 games and he's a rookie and he's one of the premium rookies apparently. I mean, look, his round 2 score was fantastic, obviously Rising Star nomination. But has he reached his peak? Possibly. Let's see what they say. Campbell missed his BE, but due to the 118 and the 29 being in rotation, his new BE is 53. He's more achievable. Okay, so he could go up in value now that 29 is gone. But I don't know, is that 29 gone? Yeah, it is gone. I don't know. I'm thinking either I hold on to him for one more week, see if I can make back some of the cash that I lost last week on him. Hopefully he scores better. Like, who's he playing against? He's playing against, man, it is cold. My fingers are numb. Oh, I don't know how you're enjoying this. It's all that hair. Let's see. He's playing Gold Coast. He actually might have a good game. North Melbourne's playing Fremantle, because I'm thinking of either getting rid of Stevenson as well. Interesting. Okay, so he might have a good game. I might hold on to him for another week and then unload him next week. But the thing is, I'm thinking of getting rid of Clark and potentially Stevenson. Stevenson's, he's been consistent, but if I can upgrade off that consistency to a star, like an actual superstar, that'd be fantastic. I'm looking at either, so the trade I'm thinking of doing is Clark trade, then trade out Stevenson. Did I miss him? No, here it is. Trade out Stevenson. And then trade in. Now I was thinking, I'm just going past the dog, see how they interact. Come on. Hey, come on. It is so cold. I can't believe how cold it is. Really, my hands are gonna fall off. You're just gonna see the phone hit the ground because my hands are literally going to just fall off. Anyway, I was thinking of bringing in a Lachie Neale, who obviously scored 157 last week. Or I was also thinking 157. He's gone down quite a bit in value, 580. We might be looking at 580k as a bargain price for him. If he continues to score big scores like that, he's going to go up in value and up fast. The other one was Petrarca. I was thinking of bringing in possibly Petrarca. He's been pretty good. He's been not pretty good, but he's been okay this year. Where is Petrarca? Who is cheaper? Petrarca. This is not the best way to search, and I'm aware of that. Where is Petrarca? It must be going through forwards first. That's all right. Anyway, so Petrarca is also roughly around the same price. They're only like a 5k difference. I was actually thinking of bringing in either Petrarca or Lachie Neale. But the other option was, because I don't have that much cash to play with, but I was thinking of bringing in, not Tracy. Tracy's been shit. Look at this. Look at this. 35 and 16. And he was apparently a must-have before the start of the season. Not impressive at all. I'm just going to leave him out. What's SuperCoach have to say? What's the notes on his thing? Tracy had only 4 touches in his second game. Not enough to suggest you should be selecting him. Yeah, fair. Definitely fair. Although obvious, like I'm surprised. Someone actually got paid. Someone got paid, probably good money too, to write that note on Tracy. Because it wasn't blatantly obvious before that. Like, I wonder how much he researched as well before he wrote that note too. I'd like to know how much he got paid to write that note. You know, ingenious. These are the expert opinions here. Now I'm thinking of Bo McCreary. McCreary. That sounds right. From Collingwood. I'm thinking of bringing him in. So I'll start with him. Then I've got 642. That's 642 to play with. Now, highest price, the chop, 642 will pretty much get me almost anyone that I want. Jared Lyons, see how his form's been. I had him last year. He was my captain leading into the grand final. He was amazing all year, so consistent. I actually went with Lyons ahead of Lachie Neale because I thought Lachie Neale was a bit expensive. I had a lot of other premiums last year. And I thought, okay, I've got enough money for Lyons instead. So I went with Lyons. I had him for most of the second half of the year. He never really failed me until the last game of the year where he decides to score like below 70. I think he scored a 64 or something. And that was grand final day. And I had him as captain. And I'm like, where'd that game come from? Seriously, Lions, what the fuck? But it's okay because like I still won most of my I think I won all the games that I was playing, but like, come on. Out of all the games that you could have not fucked up, why did you choose to fuck up that one? Anyway, so he's actually been all right. 100, 103, 139, 113, 128. He's been really consistent. Like, I'm thinking maybe I should go Lions and bring in some of that consistency in, because that could be all right. Fife's going down, even though he's actually had a pretty decent game. Big scores there from Fife. I don't know how he's going down from that. And then Matt Crouch, no. Clayton Oliver. I can afford Clayton Oliver, actually. That'd be a decent one. Also fairly impressive. How is he going down in value with these scores? But that 167 score, that's something that'll hurt. So anyway, maybe Lachie Neale might be a bit of a risk considering he's played only one good game. That's worth even talking about. Christian Petrarca, he's been pretty good. He scored 98, 92, 83. You know, like, they're pretty ordinary scores, but if that's his worst, that's not too bad. And then 146, 108. Like, his form's obviously getting better. But I could pretty much afford anyone, except for Jake Steele. I can't afford him. And McRae, I can't afford him. I've already got Dunkley, so it's... Aria, this way. This way. He's wrapping himself around. Aria, this way, come. He's wrapping himself around the pole, which means that I can't actually get him. So I'm thinking it's probably going to be either Lions that I bring in, Oliver, Neale, or Petrarca. They're the players that I'm thinking of bringing in. It will be one of them. Lions, look, he's probably Brisbane's best midfielder outside of Lachie Neale. He's such a consistent player. And then we saw even last year, even if Lachie Neale completely dominates a game, Lions still scores above 100. We've seen that. We've seen it last week. Lions scores 128. Lachie Neale scores 157. So we know that Lachie Neale isn't going to steal points, or he might steal a couple, but he's not going to steal a lot of points away. Let's go this way, Ari. A lot of points away from someone like Lions, which is good because he's a consistent player. Clayton Oliver, look, he's been a consistent scorer for a long time, a very long time. His value, look, he's gettable at the moment. Might be worth a punt. Might be worth me trying to get him in. Lachie Neale, he's only played one game. Putting him in now, it's a bit of a risk because as I said, he's only played one really good game. He could go down in value even further if he if he goes back into that. Not this form, 157 obviously is pretty good, but if he goes any lower, I mean, I don't know. That might be a bit too much of a risk. Petrarca, he was such a good scorer last year. Even his form's still pretty consistent this year. You know, he's averaging 105. It's a decent average. So I'm thinking maybe I go with the Petrarca. Let's see what the averages are, which players. Luke Shuey has a pretty good average. He's only played one game, but he's got a good average. Jake Steele, Greenwood, Sloan, Rowbottom, obviously, because he hasn't played. Walsh is an interesting one. Walsh is cheap. Walsh is actually averaging a little bit higher than Lions and has scored 122, 105, 124, 89 was a bit meh, and 144, but has been pretty good and is pretty good. And even the 89 is not terrible. I might go with either a Walsh or a Lions. Well, Walsh will save me a lot of money too. Walsh is significantly cheaper, so I might actually go with the Sam Walsh in the midfield. He's at a much cheaper price, and he's scoring pretty well. So it might even mean that I might not even have to get rid of Stevenson. I might be able to get rid of Campbell like I want. Campbell and Jay Clark. Let's try that again. So Jay Clark out, trade out. Let's try Campbell. Because I am kind of sick of Campbell. I think that he's probably reached his peak. 625. Nah, I probably don't have enough for Walsh and. Nah, I don't. Okay. Alright, so I can't do what I want to do. That's fine. That's no big deal. I'll just have to get rid of Stevenson most likely. I think Stevenson is... It is so cold. Oh, Ori, I don't know how you're liking this. Sorry about that. That would have been really bad. It is so cold. Everything's just drooping. It's just terrible out here. Why is winter this cold? Why? Anyway, so I'm most likely going to get rid of Stevenson and Clark, keep Campbell just for another week to try to regain a bit of cash off him. Look, Clark was okay, but he's just not playing at the moment, which is concerning. Like 80, it was good. 67 was good. 71, like obviously when he plays, he's playing a lot better footy and a lot more consistent footy than a Campbell. So I might even drop a Campbell. If Clark plays this week, I'll keep Clark and drop Campbell. And Stevenson and Campbell are it's either Stevenson and Campbell and Jay Clark, or Jay Clark and Stevenson. One of the two are going to be the ones that, well, Stevenson's just gone, but Campbell or Clark are going to be the ones that make way for him. And then from there, I'll most likely recruit either I was thinking Petrarca up until today, but now I'm pretty convinced with a Walsh. I think Walsh is going to be the better option. He's cheap, scoring well, big numbers. He's having a breakout year. I mean, obviously his first year, his debut year was his breakout year, the year he went Rising Star. But this year, he's just taken his footy to another level. And I wouldn't be surprised if he keeps scoring scores the way he's scoring. He's going to be around the 600k mark. So he's still got room to grow, I think. I think I'll take the Walsh. Look, I'd like a Lions. I really would. But Walsh is actually averaging a little bit more than Lions. Both are around the same kind of scorer. They're both just as good as each other. Yet Lions obviously is a little bit more expensive. It's actually almost 60k more expensive. That's a lot. I can use that 60k next week for something else or someone else. So maybe I just hold off recruiting Lions, get in Walsh, maybe go for Lions later on in the season. He might have a couple of bad games, who knows, and his price will drop, you know. But knowing my luck this year, I'm going to bring in Walsh. He's probably going to get injured and miss the next couple of games and score 40 or something. But yeah, just wave to my neighbour. Yes, we're almost home, Mario. Now, I think I'll be doing that most likely, but you know, last week I made a few changes on this stream, and then right before the round started, 10 minutes before, I decided to scrap everything that I had done on my last stream and do something else. So who knows really what I'm going to do, but I am most likely going to go with that option, to be honest. I think not many people have spoken about him. He's played 2 games as well. So this week, if he plays, obviously if he doesn't play, I'm not going to put him in the team, but if he plays this week, he scored 56 and 58. He's shown pretty good consistency. I think he had 18 disposals in last week, which is not bad against the Eagles. The Eagles are a quality side, and Collingwood lost. He had 18 disposals. I don't think that he's going to be dropped from that. The week before, he only had a few disposals, but he did kick a goal. Look, I think that he'd be a decent one to put in. I can't expect him to play a shitload of games, but if he keeps playing the way he's playing, he'll go up in value, and then I can trade him off again later on in the year. But we'll see what happens. I think that he'll be a good one to bring in. If I do bring him in, I'll probably start Rao on the field, on the bench. You know, because Rao's, look, he's averaging about 61. The other kid's averaging about the mid 50s. So kind of makes sense to put the players that are averaging the most on the field. Anyway, that's all I have time for today. Thanks again for watching, guys. If you're watching this on YouTube, please make sure to subscribe. If you're watching this on Twitch now, I can't actually see people messaging me because I don't have the Twitch app open. I'll do that next week. But you can also follow me on Twitch, so you can actually join me live when I do these as well. I'll put everything in the description below, and yeah, thanks for watching.